Hello and welcome to Kevin's Corner. I'm your host, Kevin Horner of Galligan & Manning. Thank you for joining me today. I thought what I would do today is somewhat of a follow-up to what I've been doing the last couple weeks, where I've sort of done like the year-end review, the talking about needing to review your estate plans or to review your current situations with regards to your estates. And I wanted to focus on this today. This is the start of the new year. This is the time when people do resolutions. It's the time when you look back at what you did in the last year, see what worked for you, what didn't work for you, and that sort of thing, to get an idea of what you need to do in the next year, 2020, or to do differently. And I have to admit, I was pretty encouraged looking back at everything that we did in 2019, and I thought that a good topic today would be to share some fairly simple success stories, okay, some pretty clear examples. And as you kind of listen to these, one, hopefully they sound like success stories, but two, at the end, I want you to catch what it is that made them successful and the common thread behind all of these cases that led it to being successful for the clients. So a couple of success stories. In this past year, I know I've talked about it in Kevin's Corner that estate tax planning has changed a lot in the last couple of years. So a lot of people have out-of-date estate plans. We reviewed and revised an estate plan that was quite stale. It was probably 15 years ago. That it was done for someone who would be potentially estate taxable, and made changes, not even that aggressive changes. They were able to save the family in that situation. They'll probably save the beneficiaries. We'd estimate about $200,000 or $250,000 in tax. So it was a great success in that respect. We had a situation where we had a person come in who there was concerns about passing away. We did a full estate plan, basically a fully funded estate plan, a fully funded trust, set up everything. Person passed away a little bit unexpectedly, but quickly, and happily everything was to go. It had a family-owned business that would have been disrupted. By the time it was time to transfer that business to the next owners, it took all of about 2 hours, because we had set it up well during lifetime in the estate plan, so that afterwards it went very, very smoothly. It was just a matter of figuring. So that was a great success story. We worked with a couple of clients who set up education trusts. We don't get to see that very often. One in particular was able to do this for all of their family to many extended relatives. We'll probably have dozens of beneficiaries who will benefit from an education fund that will go through a few several spent for their education, which is a fantastic result for someone like that. We had I always like when this comes up because it always seems like an emergency, but we had at the beginning of the year and then even at the end of the year, a lot of times in estate administrations, there's reasons to go extremely quickly. For example, a person, a decedent, not taking their RMD during the year that they pass away, sometimes we really have to hustle in December to get an estate open. We were able to do that for a client so they didn't have the tax penalty associated with it. Similarly, we had one where the estate started and there was going to be a estate, but there was no clear title because there was an estate to be administered. And I think we got started at the beginning of the month. The closing was set for one of the last days of the month, and we had it ready to go with, I think, half a week or a week to spare, which was great. We were able to get it all free and clear so the family could do what it is they set out to do. And the other one I wanted to say too is this became a common thread for a lot of people, but we helped one particular family with a long-standing family business be able to transfer a lot of that value to the next generation. We were able to do kind of a gifting plan to set up to save them long-term tax-wise, but also just to simply protect the integrity of that business. And it was a good thing that clients with, as is the entire family, it's protecting their legacy. So those are just a few examples. Those are the ones I thought of, frankly, fairly quickly. And I admit they are fairly maybe the more dramatic ones, because they're easy to point to, the dollars, the time, etc. But that doesn't change the fact that we had a lot of other successes. If you go to on Google and you Google Galligan & Manning, you'll see that we have had a lot of very successful reviews. We've had a slew of 5-star reviews in the past year, which has been a great success. They're also on our webpage, galliganmanning.com. And on the whole, we've had a lot of successes that may not seem dramatic, but were very important to the client. I know I was retained in the morning in a situation that was fairly urgent to do an estate plan. I think 5 hours later, probably, we had it all signed. We were able to do something very similar for a person who was about to go on a trip. We could accommodate them before they went out of the country. We turned around an estate plan, a full estate plan for 2 people in 72 hours. There's a few people, this always happens towards the end of the year, either going out of town, going on trips, going on family vacations, business, whatever. A lot of traveling. They want it's all done and have that peace of mind. We did several in within 7 days, 10 days, etc. And for the most part, we try to aim to have estate plans ready within maybe 2 weeks in most cases, not all cases, to have them ready to sign. And we were very successful at that. We had to do bedside signings and everything akin to that. So on the whole, even when it's not even dramatic, we had a good year. And now, going through all of those, the one thread that hopefully is very obvious to this, especially with those first few, is every client in that situation took the time to be as proactive as they could. The first person made sure to come in, get an estate plan reviewed, realized there was a deficiency in the plan, it got stale, we fixed it. Other people had ambitious goals, kind of thing you're not going to do on LegalZoom, and we could put it all together and fix it. For the family businesses, we could make it in a way that's going to benefit everyone, we can fix it. And all of those people came, they were proactive about addressing the situation so we could get the best result possible with the circumstances they found themselves in. And even, again, for all of those people who didn't come with those urgent, dramatic situations, if you think I'm not in any of those contexts, that's true, but a lot of the 5-star reviews were also not in those contexts. And again, we had a really good year. So, hopefully with all of that gives you an idea of both, one, why it makes sense to be proactive, and two, to kind of show that we've had a lot of success in those situations where people want to be proactive and get really, really good results. I'm hoping 2020 is just as good. We're going to try to carry a lot of that success forward, both in the turnaround time, the good job we've done with clients. We've did a lot of client education in the last year, which we're definitely going to continue. You're already on Facebook, obviously, so you know at least some of it. We've launched Kevin's Corner. That's a success by itself. But we've done an extensive number of blogs, newsletters. We've done our presentations. We had webinars on our website. So we've done a really good job, I think, of kind of educating the public so that all these issues are out there and are a reason to be coming in to have them take a look at. We'll actually be having something like that very soon with regards to the Secure Act, which passed at the end of last year, which I've been teasing for a while, but that's a really good example of how it'll be something for people to take a look at and see what needs to be examined. So hopefully at this point, if you have anything that you think is part of your 2020 resolutions, you want to have your estate plan reviewed, you're working through an estate and you need to get worked on, or having seen the family, that someone in the family maybe starts to have capacity issues, is aging, and you need a plan for that, for their long-term care, please give us a call. Go to our website, galliganmanning.com, and you can request a consultation like that so that we can hopefully help you just as we have all these people in 2019. So thank you very much all for attending, and I will talk to you again next week, Thursday, for Kevin's Corner.